Deep Dive with David Stendhal, where we trade without ego, no emotion, no greed, and no opinion. Before we begin tonight's video blog, please read over our trading disclaimer and remember to trade smart and accept the reality that trading futures is risky. This presentation does not provide buy-sell recommendations, and our information is strictly provided for educational purposes only. As always, trade at your own risk and analysis. Hey, it's David Stendhal with tonight's Deep Dive. It is September 27th, 2018. We're going to take a look at Australian dollar. The ETF, because it's short right now, the systems that is CROC, CROC, kind of a fun name for Australia. In any event, we recently, 3 trading days ago, we had a flow high, and that actually has turned out to be pretty good. Now, our systems, I think, were a little bit slow to react to it, but if we take a look at the market itself, Australian dollar, 3 days ago, well, it would have been 3 days right here, the market was kind of topping out, and that's what it was looking for. Then we had a little bit of a surge, but then with today's action, it started selling off again. So a lot of our systems were able to take advantage of this long period right through here. And a lot of our short-term or intraday systems actually liquidated themselves. I'll show those to you in a second. But what you can see here is that we came up, we found resistance at the 50-day moving average, and right now we're sitting on this support level, so that's where the market came down to. So we're going to have to wait and see as to whether or not there's really going to be a continuation back down to this lower threshold, or it's going to reverse course. But the fact that we liquidated a number of our long positions today, and now we are net short again, I would suspect that we're going to probably break this support level right through here, and that level is at 72.18 right through here. And this lower level, I'll give that target to you, is 70.93. So that's what we're going to be looking for in the Australian dollar futures. And this is on a daily bar basis. Let's go ahead and come back to the website here. What I want to do is just kind of give you an idea as to where we stand now at the end of the day. As I mentioned, we have 2 short positions and 1 long. The long is a daily, so it's going to take a little extra effort for it to actually liquidate itself. But we have a really good weekly system that has been short for quite some time. So on a contract basis, units, if you will, 1 contract per, but sometimes obviously when you're trying to normalize things within a portfolio and you equate things back to the S&P 500 as we do, we'll have multiple units on. So we have a really good unit base open position profit here of 9,800. Now I mentioned that we liquidated a couple of positions both today and yesterday, but what I want to focus on are the long systems. We had a Vega, another Vega, and a Betelgeuse system right through here. And what has basically been happening is that we've been able to unwind some of these positions. And so what I thought I would do is show you inside of TradeStation again a couple of those systems, just so you can see how long they'd been in positions. Now this is a 60-minute system, so each bar is 1 hour, so it seems like a long period of time, but it's actually having gotten into the market back on the 12th. Sure enough, it had drawdown right away, but after that it was up and away, and it liquidated here today on this big bar down. And in a similar fashion, the other system that I'll show you here got in virtually at the same place. Let me just make this a little bit larger here. In the same area, I got in actually on the 11th, but also just before the drawdown. It was able to hold the position. 2 different systems, 2 different time frames, although they are very close as far as their time frames, 160, 190, but they both liquidated on the same bar. So it looks like the same positions, but they are fairly close. And what we're looking at is basically a 1200 for both positions. So a good 2400 having liquidated themselves in these positions, having held them from the 11th or the 12th. Basically, it was almost midnight on the 11th, and held it all the way through until today. Now, the market did sell off a little bit further, so good positions there. We're at that support level. I'll pull that back up here. This support level right through here It's not super strong, but it is a support level, and it's always a target for where the market could be headed towards. And so obviously it came down to that level. We'll see if it holds. The systems, as I said, especially with the weekly systems, have been short this long period of time. We have a little bit of a hedge going on, but if we're able to continue to sell off, this lower level would act as a magnet to it. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go and touch it. Then the systems are going to react the way the systems are going to react. But I just want to at least give you an update, because there's been a fair amount of trading going on with the Australian dollar. Now, I mentioned that there were a couple of other systems that liquidated, at least another one that liquidated today, this 240-minute Vega system, and that one was actually, it lost $100. So I just wanted to, at least show you the good and the bad. So from that perspective, they're not always profitable, but net the two that did trigger did quite nicely. So we'll see where things kind of play out from there. But a large amount of the money is being made on the weekly system that's been short since February, and so it is done quite well. And it's one of these things that for the foreseeable future, with this little support level that we're at, we'll see as we're out there can be a little more of a continuation. So watch this one long system on the daily bar basis and see as to whether or not it's actually going to trigger, or this 90-minute short system triggers, meaning they unwind themselves, and that will dictate for the most part how things are going to play out here. So you can watch all the indicators that you want that we have up on the site. I didn't even go through this, but the trends are to the downside. The technical rating is flat. And so from that perspective, we'll see how things kind of play out here. But I think that rather than looking at the market overview for the deep dive or the patterns, I think the systems will give a cleaner indication as to what's taking place. So we have a long and a short that are actually out there right now. And I think that the weekly is just going to stay in this position for a little while longer. So it's these two systems, the Aldebaran 90 short, and got a little bit of a profit out there. And we've got an Aldebaran daily system, and that one is obviously long the market. We'll see how things kind of play out, and see us whether or not we can continue to make some money here. At least as a minimum, we've got a pseudo little protective hedge, and so we're not going to make or lose a lot of money, and it's given us the opportunity to unwind part of those positions, as I outlined with the 2400 that unwound themselves today, and not a bad little position given the fact that we weren't really in the trade all that long, and those are the kind of positions we actually like. So with that, we will take a look at some more markets here soon enough, and I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.